Adam, there is Seth, there is Enoch, there is...
No. Okay. But what you do when I say chain is you go to generational chain.
Yeah, because I'm taking it a bit more further than just words.
You can't do that
I'm taking it to it's a behavior.
Let me give you an example. Yeah.
Remember, it's based on the person's information to say what another person. Because remember, it's only based on the information you have given.
Yeah.
That's why I could say, oh, this person cannot become a king, but it's only based on the information that I have received.
Let me give you an example, Lancelot. Yeah. Let me give you an example.
Part of life.
Maybe I wasn't clear. Yeah. Okay. So I hear from this brother. Yeah. This brother heard from him. He heard from him. He heard from you. He heard from you. Yeah. So here onwards is a lineage of the Prophet. There onwards is a lineage of Jesus, yeah? And then, of course, you got the Prophet that came before him, yeah? What I'm saying is, I can tell you exactly, I heard from him, A, from B, from C, D, and E. What you're saying is, you, A, heard from E. So, your chain, let me just make this.
Yeah. To sit down and get
of course, no problem.
So what go from A to Z.
Yeah. So the examples you've given is you've given the example of a prophet and another prophet, but you've got this generation that you've missed out. What we're saying is that the whole point of
I didn't miss out nothing.
Yeah, it's because you said Enoch was a prophet.
Because I didn't get to start from even, as I'm saying, with the authority, it shows it even in the Quran itself. Yeah. Because there is a family in itself that, again,
a family in the Quran?
Yeah, a whole family. It's in the Quran, but yet is of the Old Testament.
Is it family or are you talking lineage?
A whole family.
Lineage or family?
They're both the same. Lineage and family is the same thing.
Not necessarily, because
show me why.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, and you're going to agree with me as well. Lineage goes from the father. Am I wrong?
Still a part of your family, huh?
Yeah, but the lineage goes with the father, isn't it?
Regardless of the family.
So the mother is not part of the lineage. Agreed?
Of course it is a part. It's a part of your blood. You can't take out your mother's blood and say, okay, no. If you don't, that's what I'm saying, based on the information that a person said, if you don't want to honor your mother, then that's fair enough. But your mother is still a part of your lineage. You can't take that away. That's impossible. You're
confusing two.
No,
one is genealogy and lineage in terms of the definition. One is family in terms of the definition. What you're saying fits in with the definition of family, doesn't fit in with the definition of genealogy.
You want to look up genealogy, yeah?
Let's do it.
Because it's going to still be generational family.
But your point is wives are included, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's based on the information, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If it's based on so if you're living in a community, in a normal standard society, right? And you want to find out
No problem, show me.
Yeah.
Where it says wife is part of the genealogy.
No, your mother. You said mother, not mother, yeah?
No, wife.
I'm just talking about mother, no?
Okay, mother. Okay, look up mother, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, look up mother, whatever makes you happy.
So while we're speaking, so in a normal community and normal society, you know, when a mother gives birth, it's recorded. The mother has choice to record her name. That's because obviously you're keeping a lineage of the generation. You have to know where you come from.
Yeah, look, we're confusing two things again.
I'm not sure.
If you're thinking about modern day times, yes, a mother has her own lineage, the lineage of the mother.
It's still part of the construct. It's not just modern day.
Traditionally, what I'm saying, traditionally, that's not the case. Traditionally, yeah.
Where though? Where?
Traditionally, we talk about from the time of Abraham onwards.
What tradition? Because like I'm saying, in my tradition, we could still identify the mother. So I'm trying to say, so it depends on the information on the community. So I have a community that upholds the mother and the father. You may have a community that only upholds the father. And
when you've got both people within the community, will you have the grandfather and the grandmother, everyone in that tree, yeah?
Yeah, the whole tree, You can't miss out one branch.
Okay, but then you have to bear in mind that also the two trees are going to go in two totally different directions, yeah?
Yeah, of course, but you still could identify where you come from because it has a base.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you go from Jesus all the way to Abraham,
but you're going from a male point of the tree. but there's still the whole female point of the tree as well. You could, if you're looking at it from a perspective to say I'm looking at only the male part, then obviously you could bring that up. But if you say you're looking at the whole part, then you're gonna have to acknowledge the mother and the father.
That's fine. I think this is a side point anyway. So coming back to the.
Let me look at the terminology. That's why behavior break down. If you're only looking at a point of view, you know, if we look at the whole of it, you have a better understanding of how to behave. But it's just based on the information that
the whole point.
So genealogy, a line of descendant traced continuously from an ancestor. You could read it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agreed with that. But what is traditionally, it was from the males. It wasn't from the females.
That's what I'm saying, from another community's point of view. So I'm saying in my community, I agree with you from where you're coming from. I'm saying in my community we trace both. We acknowledge it. That's why it says there's a part that says honor your mother and father. So your days could be longer.
Right.
You understand? So
so you're saying behavior gets passed on textually, or you're saying verbally?
Textually and verbally.
Okay, textually you've already admitted that the New Testament has mistakes and is not 100%, yeah? Okay, we've agreed on that. You also agreed upon the fact that you don't have a chain of narration that can give you the details and the criteria that I did. For example...
No, there is, that's what I'm saying. You have the normal society today. In society, you just look in society and you could go look, just like I'll give you. You have the churches, you have the parish. Look, I was born in a parish, right?
Yeah.
I was born in a parish, and this parish has been around forever. It's been around from the time of Muhammad, the time of Jesus, the time of Abraham. It's a parish. So all of that behavior that takes place in that parish is still going on in that parish to this day. It has priests. You know what I'm saying? They still old customs. They still do all of that. So it's like, I'm telling you,
it's all about traditions.
Yeah, traditions of it doesn't change. So so the information that one gets about someone else's tradition, is just based on the information. But the behavior, you have to go to that place to know it for truly, because they're trying to interpret something that is not.
Okay, interesting. So you're saying go there. So you're saying go there.
That's why. That's why it's a part of your behavior. That's why.
What I'm saying is, that's not practical.
Why not practical?
Yeah, because if a religion has come for everybody, it's not always practical for somebody to constantly travel to get certain verifications. Yeah, that's the first point. The second point that I was talking about, chains. Yeah. Now, when you actually look at textual criticism, I can quote you books, I can give you evidence. Yeah. Siyar al-Nubala of Imam Zahabi. We've got the compilation of Imam Bukhari, where he's got all the commentators. But Christianity doesn't have anything like that. The most you can say is, oh, you can go to such and such place, and then you can check that and you can do this. But there's nothing that it forms or that it presents in terms of academic literature, that there is a science that you can open up and say that chain, that person in the chain, this is their memory, that's their tribe, that's who they studied with. It's not a single Christian till today has made that claim.
That's what I'm saying. It's based on the information, that part of the culture or part of the religion that you have observed. But that's why there is different form of section in society that you might need to, go and do that practical effort yourself.
I couldn't find anything.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's always more to learn.
So can you give me one book?
So just like that, that's like you mentioned, the King James version.
Yes.
King James is a real person.
Yes.
He has families. He has to even this day. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not just by word. But the deeds are more important.
But the New International Version disagrees with the King James Version, and the New International Version is actually followed more so than the King James Version. Despite him being a man, despite him having a family, he's been discarded by many Christians. In fact, even in the preface, he himself, despite being a man, despite having a tradition, he himself admits there's many mistakes in there as well.
So I'm saying, that's why there's a
in
build-up
Islam,
of arguments. There's a build-up of community arguments. So there's so much differs. Yeah. So if to even prove that it's expand out of just religious text. In the Act of England, there's an Act of England. I think it's the Bill of Rights. It's showing you that. So this is outside of religious understanding.
Yeah.
It talks about King James, and it talks about his society, his community that he had, and he's saying that part he's an evil man. He did a lot of wrong. So that's what I'm saying. In his own section of family, there are still people that have different characteristics, but it doesn't say that based on a person that do not have good moral standards. It doesn't mean that the information, the original information, is not original. It's just that that person with that behavior have then, corrupted that information that should be passed clearly.
I think we'll have to. I think we'll have to sit down and.
Yes, I'm saying. It's
do it properly.
A sit down.
But let me ask you a question. What do you think about the Prophet Muhammad?
Yes, I think he's a great man. 100%. I think he's a great prophet, great man.
Respect.
Of course, because of as you can see, he has bring about a culture of people that, supposed to behave, because he has already given his attribute, he's already given his deeds, he's already given the language that he's supposed to speak in. He's already given himself, more than just by word.
Do you believe he was a prophet?
I believe he was a prophet to the society, to his community. You know what I'm saying? To his society, to his community.
But you don't believe he was a prophet?
He come from a lineage. Yeah, he has a lineage also, and that lineage is chasing from Ishmael.
Yeah.
So and Ishmael, again, he changed his lineage into Egypt. So you can see that, all prophet I say is princes, because he's a prince.
I think you're talking about Isaac. That's the lineage, but I think
I'm saying
we use them interchangeably.
Ishmael, he begot 12 princes. Ishmael have 12 princes.
I think according to the Bible, I think that's what you believe.
Princes. So those princes coming out of Egypt, and again, the Prophet Muhammad is a part of that lineage, part of that lineage. And there's others, just like I mentioned. If you have to look this up, as I'm saying, these are based on my, tradition and my behavior, just the way I behave. I have to look into myself. King Edward.
Yeah.
Again, he's a part of the Prophet's lineage. And Empress Menen, she was the Empress of Ethiopia. She's a part of the Prophet lineage. So, like I say, you have to really look into
So the Prophet Muhammad said, "I'm the final prophet. There's no prophet to come after me." And then, of course, he preached the Quran. What do you think about all that?
Well, like I say, it based on today's aspect of how.
Based upon you.
Because I'm in today's aspect, and obviously there has to be proof in that. I would say I agree to the culture that he is in.
What proof do you require that he was the final messenger?
He's a part of the culture because it's a confirmation.
But ask me, you said you would need proof. What sort of proof do you require?
Well, the proof I require that he's the last prophet.
Yeah, and that you should follow him.
That obviously that it has to have a chain of authority to say that there will be, like God saying, there will be a last prophet. There's nothing else.
That's where Victor's going to come in. Remember, you were giving me the verse of the Bible where you said that even in the Bible it was saying that there is somebody to come afterwards. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18.
In Judaism, they don't recognize Jesus as the anointed, because in Judaism, if you read, they say the Messiah, the Holy One, will come and rebuild Jerusalem. Well, I don't mean to offend you, but...
No, go for it. Offend me as much as you want.
They say that when he comes, the Muslims will bow down to him because they will recognize him. And every Muslim will fear this Messiah, but when he walks, they say, and he will build Jerusalem, and everybody will be united. But But the Jew, well, my people say, they say that Jesus is not the anointed because none of the prophecies have been fulfilled. It says Jerusalem should be rebuilt. Where is it being rebuilt? Where are the holy ones of Israel going back? None of them. I mean, he may disagree. The people in Jerusalem now are not true Jews when you look back. Because when you look back, European Jews, because God clearly says to us, do not intermix with anybody. Keep your faith. So when you got the European Jews, they interbreed with other people. So they're not really true Jews because they went against the commandment where it says don't you say, let's say you have a daughter and I like your daughter. I said, no, you can't marry him. I was like, I can convert to Islam. No, it's forbidden. No, she must marry a Muslim who is from birth, not because you converted, must be from the birth of his religion, not someone who converts. And that's the same with Judaism. And people say, well, I've got to convert. The rabbi will say, if you want to convert to our religion, it will take you 6 years. Are you willing to study Judaism for 6 years? And you say, no, that's it. Because Judaism doesn't convert people. So if I said to you, I want to turn to Islam, yes, fine, turn. But don't come to our religion thinking it's going to be easy. But when you look at it, you see, we don't know who are the true Israelites. You know, I mean, they're not blonde hair, blue eyes. They're more or less dark skinned. I've seen a true Jew here. He's very dark complexion, and I think, oh, you're Arab. I said, no, I'm a Jew because he looks. And that's how when you look. I'm not being racist, because in Islam, if I convert to Islam, I can marry your daughter. In Judaism, that would not be allowed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the old saying, but that if I was a Muslim and I had my daughter, I said, no. You convert to Islam, you're not marrying my daughter. I have someone who's brought up from birth to be that. But, you know.
I wanted to put a greater point. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Push it moving forward. Look.
Yeah.
So I just.
No, it's all right.
It was a good thing you were saying, and this is why I'm coming from that point. That's why I say like the textual point and the behavioral point, that the behavior exceeds the textual point, because the behavior is not also literacy, it's also nationality, it's also cultural. So it's like, okay, so within the textual concept of the interpretation of one's culture, one's nation, one thing, it really gets hard, because you would have to experience that person's culture, that person's nationality, that person's, environment. And, just to show you, there's a verse, right, in the Quran. It's Surah 53, and it's 49, right? And it clearly states that, Allah is the Lord of Sirius. And in my culture, and in a lot of culture...
You quote the Quran there?
Yeah.
You say Anaj.
Yeah,
There's no such verse called Anaj.
I said there's Surah 53.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll take it just to confirm.
So when it's the Quran,
Yeah, that's what I said, just to confirm.
you gotta be very careful.
Yeah, no, it's a part of my culture to know,
So Quran chapter 52.
Yes, so Surah 53.
Oh, 53.
Yeah.
Surah 53.
Yeah.
Verse?
49.
49. Okay, so Surah Najm. What did you say?
Najm, yeah.
Oh, you said.
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
I think you gave it your own flex.
No, because that's what I'm saying. So the names are different. That's because it's the name that I got. I don't know the pronunciation. That's why I say language. I have So for me now, you know what I'm saying, coming outside of that culture, the way I would pronounce it, so you will correct me, because I'm pronouncing it in the way that I have knowledge to. You understand? So as you can see, you know, in that point, it talks about, like I say, the Lord
He's the Lord of a mighty star, which is Sirius.
Yeah. So that is a textual understanding. So obviously that needs more than just a textual understanding.
Yes.
Because it's not just a textual understanding. It's a raw expression. It's based on people's culture. It's based on the people's nationality. All of these things, they have a upright dignity from the smallest to the greatest. You know, they uphold this type of thing. So look into the cultural point of it. What does it actually mean? Right? So if you understand what does this mean in the cultural aspect, then look, it says Allah is the Lord of Sirius, right? Start. There is a Lord, there is a God of Sirius, I mean Osiris. But that Osiris in the culture, it has a Lord, and that Lord is Afar. So this is a woman. Think about it. This is a woman. That is Lord. So in the culture aspect, which people know this because this is where the houses and the lineage comes in place. You know, like that's what I'm saying. I trace my lineage back to Nefti.
Let me give
These are all a part of the laws. Like Mayat. These are all one. These are all family members that, you know, like I say, within culture, they could go to places and time that people in that culture could say yes. You know. This is true. That's what I'm trying to say. So the language needs more.
I'll respond to that. I think Victor wants to say something.
I mean, Islam has two cultures. You have the Sunni, I think you're Sunni, and you have the Shia. So there's two different faiths in the same religion. But I mean, they say, I can't remember that Ali's supposed to be the successor from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Shia are the true religion, and you're not. So how do you feel having? I mean, if you come across a Shia and you're a Sunni, I think they're, I don't know, I've never seen, but hatred towards each other.
No, I've met several Shias there. We've had really nice conversations. I think one Shia was asking me for advice a couple of months ago.
But they have a different
so does everybody.
The Quran.
Yeah, like I might like chicken pizza. Somebody might think chicken pizza is abhorrent. They might go for pineapple, which I think is abhorrent. Yeah, so we have our different tastes when it comes to pizza. We have our different tastes when it comes to football teams. But what Victor, I'm trying to say with this is Shias and Sunnis both believe in one God. Both Shias and Sunnis believe that the Prophet Muhammad was the final messenger. Yeah, they both believe that you're supposed to pray 5 times a day, that you give obligatory charity, that you fast in Ramadan, that we respect Ali, that we respect our parents. There's no difference of opinion with regards to these things. Yes, there are certain difference of opinions when it comes to other things, but when it comes to, you know, the big picture, the macro, they're very similar. And it depends, Victor, what kind of mentality a person's coming from. If a person's coming from a mentality that every difference is a big thing, then that person's going to hype everything up. They're going to have enmity. It's just like some people get so violent with football teams, but some people are calm with football teams. If for example there's an Arsenal or a Manchester United, like if we find out, who do you support?
I don't support anyone.
You don't? Who do you support? Huh? Spurs. Tottenham. Who do you support?
I support Arsenal.
Arsenal. Then you two should be fighting. Come on.
But it's not that.
It's not that deep because you two are nice people. So it's the same, Victor. The thing is, what you have to realize.
It's by tradition. I would say it's by tradition. My brother was supporting, so you have to, as my older brother. So
shall I tell you what it is? It's politics. It's politics.
Have different cultures.
Victor, it's politics.
No, I wanted to expand with.
The problem is there's always vested interest. So if you can make two factions disagree, there's always somebody who benefits from it.
Let me give you an example. What he said, it's a very good point. The democratically elected leader of Iran around 1950. sorry, in 1951-52 was Muhammad Mossadegh. Yeah, around 1952. He was removed from power. He was removed from power because he wanted to privatize oil. BP was a national interest of Britain. So Britain, colluding with America, removed Muhammad Mossadegh and then replaced him with the Shah, and then eventually the Ayatollahs came into power, which if you read a book called Secret Affairs by Mark Curtis, he goes in this with more detail. But that kind of solidifies his point, which is corporate interests, international interests. These have always played a part. In fact, Lord Crewe in 1920, of Britain, made this explicitly clear.
I mean, I'm not putting down Islam.
No.
There's two.
No, I'm just making a point. 1920, Lord Crewe explicitly, and this is written down, it's documented. He said it's within our interest to keep the Middle East divided. And the Foreign Office confirms this as well. I think around 1958 or something. There's too many numbers to memorize, but it's in Secret Affairs by Mark Curtis. So again, this thing has been confirmed. Even when the British took over Hindustan, which is a combination of India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, they said when they saw that there was an infighting between Hindus and Pakistanis, Hindus and Muslims, they said this works in our favor. Keep the population divided. And I would say there are certain things to do with gender, to do with this and that. The government actually doesn't care about these things. It keeps the people divided. And the old rule that's worked very well is divide and rule, and eventually divide and conquer.
Just wanted to add to what Victor said.
Go ahead,
right?
Lancelot.
Truly what he's saying, because so for instance, from what I understand and the information so Sunni, right? There is a sect within Sunni. It has part of a family culture that's dealing with Sufism, mystery, and this is being transferred or being understood even within the Islamic empire at that time, from Egypt, from Morocco. They have a tradition that is closely linked to Sunnis, and it's that detail, because now when you now go into Sufism, it talks about the lineage of people, talk about the Mahdi and all these things that that should be coming to pass, and it's also written in the text that Muslims can understand, and they do understand about that branches. So I don't know about the Shia, the other part, if that is involved. So it could differ. That's the part. I say, I could more understand about Sunni.
I wasn't getting into politics. That's one thing I wasn't interested in. All I see, when I see what I see Sunni and Shia, looks like they both hate each other, But they're saying, well, we are the chosen one because Ali chose, from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a lineage. And they said that lineage, which was deliberately cut by the Sunnis and so on. One thing, I spoke to many, I think I spoke to you, where they actually whipped themselves with blood pouring from them. And I said to her, is that acceptable in Islam? She said, no, it isn't, because it's not written. But someone said, that's just tradition in that country. That's a tradition to do something. You're doing something, get closer to God or something like that.
I mean,
have you ever seen them do it?
I have, and our stance is clear, isn't it? To harm oneself is forbidden. Especially cutting yourself and blood coming out, that's something forbidden. But the point still stands. You were talking about Sufism, when it comes to Sufism, there's like Sufis, technically speaking, they're not non-Muslims. When you speak about Sufis, their heavy emphasis on spirituality. So we don't believe that it's a separate sect.
Okay, that's even that's a good thing.
So for example, you'll have somebody that's emphasizing more on tafsir. Go for it. So yeah, Victor, I mean, look, it totally depends on who you're interacting with, and ask them, there's a reason. Why do you hate the Shias so much? Why do you hate the Sunnis so much? Sometimes it's because you're supposed to, based upon the country that you're in. Sometimes it's because they allege that this happened or that happened, but this is further being exacerbated by politics. Like, I know you don't want to speak about politics, but Victor, politics is a major player.
Same with Christianity.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, Constantine, the Emperor Constantine,
He was a pagan king in some other part. And then
very important for Christianity.
He's supposed to have seen God, and then it changed from paganism to Christianity.
Byzantine Empire.
That's where the Easter, the Christmas, everything was added. Because in the Old Testament, that is forbidden. You're supposed to celebrate the Sabbath. When you celebrate the Sabbath, you're not even allowed to switch your lights on. You're not allowed to set a fire. You're not even allowed to do anything. If I was there, I say, can you come and put the light on for me? They have on the Friday, it's about 6, they put a special light on. It goes on and off, on and off.
Wow.
And have 2 separate cookers, because you're not allowed to eat meat with the milk and all that. And it's separate. It's the law of Moses, like that young man you arguing. The law of Moses. I mean, I don't know much about Islam, but there must be a culture in Islam where there's like, this is our tradition. Well, I must have got this is our tradition, how we do things. And some Muslims say, no, it's not in the Quran, my friend. You're going the wrong way.
The thing is,
they would say, well, I was taught this when I was growing up. I mean, in Pakistan, there's a few which I've seen.
I was very honest of you. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. But in Islam, we don't go against tradition unless it goes against a principle of the Quran or the sayings of the Prophet or Islam in general. So coming here, if for example there's a tradition after, let's just say Sunday, after Speaker's Corner, we go and we have a ploughman sandwich. Go have a bit at the ploughman's, because the people that don't eat meat from the shops, I mean, the best that we have is ploughman's. Now, I'm going to ask myself, is the bread legit? Is legit. The cheese legit, tomatoes legit, the lettuce legit, the sauce, everything's legit, I can have it. But if you say that today, say, Zishan, let's go, the ploughman's tradition, I'm going to say no. Why? Because today, if I go, it's violating the principle of Ramadan, fasting. So today I will say, Victor, I will respectfully decline your offer today because I'm fasting and I can't go. So normally I would love to have that ploughman's with you and a cup of tea and everything, but in this regard,
there is a law in the Quran. So if you are ill, then you don't have to do Ramadan.
Exactly.
Or if you're in hospital, or
Yes.
you're on a journey,
Yes.
and do it afterwards.
Exactly. Make it up.
Afterwards, when things. But that's more like. I can say. I mean, true fasting is not eating nothing from 12 midnight all the way up to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Not drinking water or touching anything. But as I said, well, again, I've seen programs where we should just fill themselves up with food and stuff. Like, this is going to last me for the whole day. But when you read the Bible in the Old Testament, fasting means no water, no food, and all you do is just sit in the temple and pray to God.
Is it longer than dusk till dawn?
In the Old Testament, you see what King David did.
Soma Wisal, yes.
With
multiple days.
Bathsheba, when she's going to have his son, and he wanted God to let that child live, and he fasted And when God said, no, I'll take him, and he stopped. Because when you fast, you're saying to God, I want something in return for I'm showing you that I'm loyal. I mean,
But was that fast obligatory upon the whole community or done by a few people?
Just for King David, because he had I can say it in a nice way, had an affair with somebody else's wife.
No way.
Yeah. And
You guys believe that?
Yeah, he had King David had many wives and many concubines, but God chose him. He said, you're going to be, but like I said, you will not build my temple because your hands are full of blood.
Okay.
Because you went and then Solomon, his son, took over and built the temple.
Yes.
Temple, but I mean,
I think, Victor, that's the point though, isn't it? For us, fasting is for everybody. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a wife, whether you're a student, whether you're a father, whether you're a builder, whether you're a farmer. So because of that, fasting is practical. It's done for a specific period of time, because some even sociologists say that if you do something for a month, it instills that habit within you. So it's verified, but the main aspect is this: Islam is practical and Islam is for everybody. That's why we say Islam is a way of life and Islam has come for everybody. That's, I think, the distinction between the fasting of, say, the previous generations and us. And I think even the Prophet, we do something at just before Fajr, the first prayer, before the sunrise. We have food called suhoor, and the Prophet said it is from us to have suhoor, and that distinguishes us from the people that came before. So yeah, you're correct that they would fast longer, but obviously it's not practical, and that's the beauty of Islam, the fact that it's just so practical.
Islamic, like it's more like it's like the new version. It's updated.
It's like updated, yeah.